This is Desert Homestead Prepping. Make sure to like and subscribe and hit that bell for notifications.
So me and Matthew are off on a little bit of an adventure. We are on our way to see if we can solve the riddle to the Utah treasure hunt. We've pored over all the clues, the hints, the riddle and everything, and looked through a few historical facts, some features within our area, and we believe that we have solved this riddle. So we are on our way to go and see if we can find this treasure. There is, if you guys probably may not know about the Utah treasure hunt, but it was started in the middle of the pandemic in I believe it was 2020, and some people decided that they were going to hide some money and have a treasure hunt, which was going to kind of force people to get out of their homes. And so then it was a lot of fun, and after that they continued to do the treasure hunt over the next 3 years. So now the lot is up to $25,000. So me and Matthew are excited to go and see if we can find it. This has been hidden for over a month. Obviously, you could imagine that thousands of people have been looking all over for this, trying to figure out where it's at, pouring through all the clues, the riddle, and nobody's found it yet. So we're gonna go try our hand at it. We think we have it figured out. So we're on our way to Salt Lake City because we believe that this is where it's at, and we're gonna see if we can find this. All right, everyone, we are at our first destination. This is the old Zion's Bank here in Salt Lake City. It's been here for a long time, a lot of history around this area. So this is where we start, is with this clock. So this clock, it was here back in the 1800s, and in fact there's some history behind the clock. So yeah, we'll take a look at this clock for some clues. Alright, so we come over to this clock, and here is the plaque, and it actually tells us that this clock right here used to be 30 feet north. It actually doesn't say north, but I looked on the pictures, and this clock, if you actually stand right here, count your steps, you get to 30 feet. Right about where this square is. So 30 feet over, this is the traditional spot where this clock has been. In fact, you can see historical pictures that places the clock right here. All right, so the riddle starts out, begin your search where time was transcendent. Open the books, they're interdependent. Lift up your eyes and look for the mark. So we have figured it out with some of the clues that the clock is time that was transcendent. Was meaning it was right here in the past. So you can see from this spot, everything is blocked by city buildings. There's no way to lift up your eyes and look for the mark, except for this narrow corridor. Right here is where you can look off into the distance and see the mountains. And so I've already done this with Google Earth and followed the direction way over here to the base of the mountains. So we are going to go there and I will show you what we found. So yeah, we've already looked at this on Google Earth and mapped this. So we're going to follow this street all the way to the base of the mountains, and I'll show you what I found over here at the end of this street. Me and Matthew are now here at the foot of the mountains. If you look directly that way, you go straight down that street that leads to the clock. And that leads directly to this spot. And so it may be a little out of sequence with the riddle, but I just couldn't deny the coincidence. When I got on Google Earth, looked right from where that clock is, and it points straight to here, and I came here, went on the street view, and then take a look at what I saw. That is an airplane without wings, if I had ever seen one. Like, that's exactly it. It's gotta be it. I mean, it like points directly straight up that street, comes right to this. But not only that, directly east, we end up seeing up here, and you probably can't quite tell, a structure. So it talked about a grain tower that looks out to the west. And the hint said it's not a literal grain tower, it's a man-made structure. And right up here above these garden terraces is an old cabin, an old stone cabin. So it's gotta be. So there's just way too many coincidences for it not to be in this area somewhere. So we're gonna go and see what we can find. There's still more parts of the riddle that we have not unraveled, but I think we have enough to at least search this area. You know, we brought ourselves plenty of water, got our hiking boots on. We're gonna go up there and trudge around and see what we can find. we've been hiking for a little while, kind of steep. So you could barely see it. Right here where my finger is, there's this old cabin. So we know from the hints that the grain tower that looks out to the west is not a literal grain tower. So this is gotta be it, because from where it's at, it just looks off to the west. Beautiful view to the west. So now we're trying to find the tree that stands with no bark. But it says past the grain tower that looks out to the west. So we got to go past this, and somewhere up here we should be able to find a tree that stands with no bark. So we're gonna keep going and see if we're onto something here. Okay, we found ourselves kind of a flat spot right here to hang out for a bit. We're gonna try to be a little smarter about this and put the drone up in the air, see if we can find the tree without bark. Look at this amazing view out behind us. Just absolutely beautiful and stunning. We're loving this so much. So we're gonna put that drone up in the air. Just down below this ridge is the grain tower, or the old rock cabin. So we're gonna see if we can find something that might be a tree without bark. Thinking maybe a trail marker or something like that, or a destination point placard. Maybe a real tree that doesn't have any bark, that's dead up here somewhere. I don't know. We're gonna see if we can find it with the drone without just hiking all over the place. If you look around me, you can see just trying to go up these mountains and all over is very difficult. Utah has some of the most treacherous trails in the world. I mean, this place is wonderful and dangerous and extremely difficult. So we're gonna put the drone up, see if we can maybe cheat a little bit. So we decided to come back to the car, kind of regroup. We've been hiking through these mountains. We knew that we were trying to find a tree without bark past the grain tower, but
we didn't know what kind of tree we were looking for.
So I mean, we hiked all the way up to the top of this mountain right up here, and actually hooked across there and then came back down and around. And so we realized that from the clock tower there's a straight line. You follow that street and it comes straight up to here, and it goes past that old rock cabin that we went past, and then you continue straight even more past this mountain. There's another mountain way higher, and that mountain has what's called a radio tower. So it's this tall tower that actually has a structure on top where you can stand there on this platform and get an amazing view all the way around. Yeah, so I guess you'd call it a crow's nest, and it looks like a tree from a distance. We could see it, but it was so far away, and we'd actually have to drop back down and then start our climb again. So we decided that we are going to go back home. It's already about 1:30 in the afternoon, and regroup, and we're going to start on a different trail that's going to take us straight there. We wasted a lot of time kind of zigzagging through these mountains right here, trying to think of what looked like a tree without bark, until we finally saw that radio tower way up there.
Yeah, we were just prepping. We were looking to see if we could find anything.
So we decided it just makes more sense, because it'll take us probably 3, maybe 4 hours to get to that tower. And that's going to put us at like 5 in the evening when we get up there, and then it's just a little too late.
Yeah.
Sure, we got plenty of light until 9 p.m., but it's better to regroup, start again tomorrow morning when it's cool, we're refreshed, and we have a better plan. So we'll come back, we'll get with you guys first thing in the morning